What's going on, Mud Truckers? Welcome to Mud Trucker News. Email us at mudtrucknews@gmail.com. Have a great segment for you today. We are going to look at the inside of a DOT weigh station and how they actually operate.
So under normal issues, we would then walk out there and let it know. Hear the tone, letting us know that there's one in the bypass lane, or excuse me, the scale lane that is coming up.
So he possibly has a low tire.
Potentially has a low tire.
You know, we have a great friend of the show, Trucking Life with Shawn. Make sure you follow him on all social medias. I'll put his YouTube link down below. But he was on his journey when I talked to him about losing some weight. And it almost looks like he's unrecognizable. And I mean that in a positive way, because he's lost like over 100 pounds. And he wrote this book. And he has it on Amazon. I'm going to share a link here. And he has over 100 real recipes, he says, made in the truck. Save money, he says, eat better at truck stops. 30-day weight loss guarantee, or your mindset back. Hope to hear from you soon. And I just wanted to support a friend on this. And we have a great interview with him talking about his life. But he wanted to share this video. And so I'm going to show clips of this video so that you can see the inside of what's the DOT hidden secrets is what he put. So Mud Truckers, hopefully you guys enjoy this segment. Definitely follow him. He's a good friend, and he's giving us information that we just can't get ourselves.
If you guys want to come over here, down step back here. So with our systems that we have, this is our weigh-in motion, as well as our scale automated system. This scale, along with several others, are fully automated. So we can come in, turn them to auto, and walk away.
Wow.
It will sort them, just like you're seeing here with this Landstar truck coming up. With him, he is possibly going to be, he's just a random. And when it does the random, all it's looking for is scale calibration verification. That's all it does. See, even releases it.
Okay. So it does it automatic for you?
It does everything automatic.
That's cool.
The reason for that is if our guys are out on the lot, they're in the barn doing their inspection, if they're dealing with a driver, we really don't want them to have to break their focus to worry.
Correct.
With that being said, if there is an issue, let's say with that tire, if there is an issue with a weight, it will hold them. It will hold them for an extended amount of time, but it won't indefinitely hold them. It will still, unless we change the settings, it will still release that person. So they're not sitting there on our scale just hanging out waiting.
All right, man, my name is Shawn. I'm a truck driver by heart. I drove for 16 years, and I come off the road a year ago to continue to what I do, and that's to help truck drivers. So I started my channel about almost 3 years ago. September will be 3 years, and the goal was to help drivers succeed. That was the whole point. And through that journey, I got to meet a lot of drivers, and I got to help a lot of new drivers, and I trained drivers, and that was good. But I got promoted in the company, and now I work in safety. I work right in the safety department, so I get to be the good cop versus bad cop, if you know what I mean. So I work in safety, so my job now is if they're speeding, doing this, I'm calling them, but with a trucker's point of view. So I'm kind of I got to go to bat for them. So when they do something wrong, I've been there in their situation so I can help them. But when the drivers come in, I'm over all the trainers. They let me run the training program. So we don't run like teams. I don't allow them to. I make them sleep every night. I don't let them abuse them. There's companies out there, when they get new drivers, they'll abuse the heck out of them. Well, they allow me here at Rosedale to pretty much foster and create the program so drivers can become real drivers.
Because there are a couple factors. One, if the driver doesn't pull all the way up to the white line, the system doesn't recognize it, and it won't allow a weight because there is too much of an inaccuracy at that point in time. When they come across the bottom, you are seeing some data here. Let me get another one up here.
So appreciate your loudness here, by the way, too.
Oh, glad you guys are here. So with this, it gives us the speed that they're coming in. It gives us what their rolling gross is, and of course, it runs away by the time I get to talking about
it. Right, that's fine.
And today being early morning, it's going to be a minute before we get more trucks. So it gives us their weights. It also gives us their axle, as far as
that's the rolling weight from this guy right here.
This one is the white truck that's coming up now.
Oh wow!
The next one is going to be the one with the hood
Okay.
The white truck at the bottom there.
Okay.
That's his weights. But it gives us a distance between axles, and it even will give us down here, when this next one comes up, it'll give us the axle weights.
So you see that before they even get to right here.
We see that long before. And it does it for us. That's what I'm saying. This is all computing this, and we don't even watch this.
Right.
As you can see, it goes by so fast, we're unable to keep up with it at that time.
And I'm able to monitor that in real time, and it's great, man. I get to see drivers blossom and bloom, and become a new driver all the way up. And it's a great feeling, man, to actually help drivers, and that's what my channel's always been about. But now, I work here, so I get to go to some of the scale houses and meet some of the DOT. Used to, I just bam, bam, bam. Hey, what's up? I got some questions for you. You remember? I used to walk right on in there and just ask them. But some of them they look crazy because I'll be asking about PC. I'll be asking crazy questions, just stuff that would to test their knowledge. And a lot of them would admit and didn't know the knowledge. And you put 6 officers up, they tell you 6 different things, but you kind of learn the feel. But now I get a different approach. I actually get to go sit in there with them. They know I'm coming, and I get to see their side of it too. And a lot of the officers out there is some bad ones, but there's a lot of good officers out there, Alex, that want to make a difference. And trucking gets its weight. DOT gets a bad name because there is a few, but hey, there's a few bad truckers too.
So we've got it to where we can see which tire. So it's going to be this back trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's dark.
That's it. It's a lot. See the hot?
Yeah.
The white signature? That's what you're looking for. That white one that we were looking at? This is our tire anomaly system. So on this one, it's showing that all of these tires could be bad.
Wow.
Now, I say could be because it rates off several different things. 1, it rates off low pressure. 2, it rates off of low tread depth. If you have a trailer tire, because this one is a intermodal chassis, they could have trailer tires, they could have steer tires, they could have drive tires.
So you can tell the tread. You can tell the difference in the tread depth. There's difference.
Well, it indicates that there is an issue, and it could be tread height, it could be tire size. Something is showing that there is possibly an issue,
correct,
and that's for us now to go out and to verify. Okay. And it even gives us bridge weight.
Oh wow! He looks pretty good.
Okay. So he's good. That's how fast it releases.
And then it releases in itself.
That's how quick it releases.
And I hope you don't take offense to this, but it looks like you lost a lot of weight, bro.
Lost a lot of weight, bro. But I told you I'd done it last time I was out there. I'm not a doctor, y'all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything like that. So, but I can just tell you from my own experience what I did. What I did is I went on this thing called the Carnivore diet, where I would eat just meat. I'd eat eggs, bacon, steak, pork chops. I would eat everything, as far as meat goes. I wouldn't eat the sugar, so I cut out all my carbs pretty much. And I did it all in the truck with a $30 air fryer. So I had a $30 air fryer that I did, and I finally wrote this book right here. I got 100 recipes in this book. It breaks down. It's a simple book. I'm not an author, but these are 100 different recipes that are all carnivore, low sugar, no sugar, high protein. And as you can see from my last videos, I've dropped a lot of weight, man, and I feel good. First time ever. 117/78 blood pressure. I was a diabetic. I had a 13.1 A1C. And once I went on this carnivore diet, I reversed my diabetes. I was almost having to do insulin. So I don't have to do that no more. Did it by being strict. But the first thing about it, I was bored. Like, you mean I got to eat meat and steak every day? No, you could eat chicken. You could eat fish. But how am I going to do that? Alex, I'm driving a truck. I don't have no grills. $30 air fryer. You got 100 recipes in here that you can use, that I use. Still do. I got an air fryer in the break room here, and I got one in my house. I still use these. And it's just as simple. Like, I'm going to give you a quick example. You can boil eggs in an air fryer, Alex. You don't crack them, real whole eggs. You put them inside the air fryer. You set it for 21 minutes at 270 degrees. When you pull it out, you put them in some ice water. It peels right off. You ain't got to go in Love's and spend $3 for 2 nasty eggs. Get your carton of eggs. You can have fresh eggs every day, boiled right there while you're driving. No hardware. And that's just one.
So, Shawn, talk to me a little bit about what's going on at the DOT weigh stations and what you are finding out from your investigations.
What people don't realize is tires are so important. Okay, tires. If you don't have one of these there here, an air gauge, you ain't got a tread depth, you're messing up. You can use the hammer right here. You go around and flip the tires, that's good. But you need to be out there checking, especially if you're swapping trailers all the time. you need to be checking your air pressure, because the air pressure, tires are the number one thing they pull you in for. That's to get you in there. They can tell, and you've seen the video, when you're getting off, that infrared can tell. They can walk right out and say, this tire is bad right here. That's the number one thing that gets drivers, is just lack of tire pressure. Making sure your tires are good. They're going to check all that stuff. Their weigh in motion, they can tell exactly where the weight is. With these systems, they got license plates. They can read those, your DOT readers. They cross-reference that. They cross-reference to make sure that if you had any out of service lately, you have expired registration. Is your IFTA sticker good? Inspection history, all these things. They know it before you get there. But checking that tire pressure, they can walk right out, point to it, and that's going to lead to other violations. Checking your logs, going in here, going in that. Man, if you just keep those tires, this will save you. I was lucky, man. 16 years I drove, I never got an out of violation. But I checked my tires, man. I was big on that. And people seem to forget it. They get comfortable with the little lights on the dash, letting them know, but it's not letting you know about the trailer. You got to get out there and check those things, man, because not only will it save your company money, it's going to save you time for a breakdown. You don't want to hurt nobody. You don't want to be on the side of the road for 3 or 4 hours waiting on it. But they also do the infrared camera checks for the brakes. You know that? They can tell if it's hot or cold. So if it's like a cold brake, they know it's not engaging. They know it. They know it. All right, so a Chicago line, if you ain't got a Chicago line, you need one. That's where you hook it up to your airlines, and you can go right in, you hook the glad hand, you go right to the back, and you can air up the tires right there. I had a driver last week, went through a DOT station, and they're like, you got a flat tire, pointed right at it. Wanted to get the paperwork. He aired it up. She came out with her paperwork. He said, what tire? She goes, what'd you do? He goes, I aired it up. She said, get out of here. No violation. So, like, he was able to fix the problem. So if you're able to fix the problem, now I ain't gonna say all officers do that, but you need to have that. So you wake up in the morning, it's low. It's like $30 at Love's, man. Like you should do that, y'all. We should and not only does tires, I've learned so much by coming in the office that I didn't know before. Not only does tire pressure help with your MPG, but it helps with that. It helps with buy, and that's what cost is. At a company right now, small companies like the company I work for, MPG is everything. Idle cost, MPG. It's a penny business anyway. But you know, having a better MPG, you may say, Shawn, I'm a company driver. What does it matter? It does matter, because in today's world, as you know, Alex, companies get shut down all the time, and you want to be the best driver you can be. You know what I mean? So if you want to have the best MPG, because in the day, you're the last one to get cut loose.
Right. So old school method, before we had the tire anomaly system, this is what our guys did. If they was looking, because you can see the heat signatures from the brakes. Yeah. You got the exhaust. We can tell if there's a tire bad, and that's what we're looking for. So you can sit and just watch. So you got all the tires on that one going red hot. So you've got good, the brakes. And
so if they weren't glowing,
now you've got a brake. Either A, they are empty, or B, that brake is not functioning. You can start seeing white in between each. Mm-hmm. And if you got one that maybe doesn't look right, like this one here, okay, it's fine. It looks like it may have a little bit of an issue. And that one looks like it's disc. And it is. You can tell that because of the drum. And we've got one coming up on the opposing side.
So you can just flip it around.
right around. Yep. Guys that are really good at this, which is not me, can run this thing and just all day long. So this guy is a tire system. So here it shows.
So you possibly have a low tire or something.
And it also shows us on the cat system as well.
So if you wanted to hold him with the tire, you'd have to physically hold him.
At that time, what I would do is,
no problem.
I would come in here and I would change our lights to red, or I could even come over and change our system. I'll get this up and running. I can change our system to take off auto release. So now every truck I have to manually. Mm-hmm. So anybody that's sitting there now, I would have to come over and manually release that truck once I verify that it is good. Yeah. So again, if you're not, unless you're looking for something for the day, we always leave it on auto. That way it keeps us smooth.
How many tires do you think you get a day?
Oh, goodness gracious. I don't even know if I could even give you a number.
What's your, okay, maybe I should ask you this. What is your Your most violation.
That is the tire now.
It is tires.
Tires now. Cool.